welcome to UK Casuals Football Show. Today we've got Martin King from SW6 Blues Pride of London. And we've also got Dave Cas from QPR Memoirs YouTube channel. So how are you today, Martin? Had a good win against Villa over the weekend?
Yeah. Lukaku played well. I don't think the defence and the midfield played particularly well. The new kid, Sol, from Atletico, he looked a bit of a lost soul there, giving the ball away. They hooked him off at half-time. But I'm pleased with the result. At last, we got a good goal scorer. Looks like he's going to be maybe finishing the top goal scorer in the Premiership. Lukaku looks dangerous, does his job. So, yeah, I was impressed, but not with the defence in the first half. And he made a change in midfield to Chul, and it worked. So, yeah, good result. Nice 3-0 win against Villa.
Right. Over to Dave Cas with QPR Memoirs YouTube channel. Subscribe and go and have a look. Not sure of QPR's result this weekend, Dave, so enlighten us.
Okay, well, as I say, up until yesterday, we were unbeaten in all games, in all competitions. I had my eye closely on it. I weren't over there, obviously. I was still in Ireland, but we went 1-0 up. This is at Reading away.
Right.
We were 3-1 down. We let ourselves down a bit. I think we exposed ourselves at the back, like Martin was just saying about the Chelsea defence. But yeah, they won they were winning 3-1. One of their boys had scored a hat-trick, brought it back to 3-2, and in the 94th minute, we've got a never say die attitude this season, and we got the equaliser, and there was wild scenes in that away end, and 3-all boys.
3-all. So all in all, really for you, Dave, a good result.
Very good result, and we're top scorers in the Championship so far this season as well, which is pretty good for us. Happy days.
Really good.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, leading back to midweek or something like that. It was England v Poland. Dave, you called it bang on, 1-1.
I didn't call it 1-1. I said a draw.
A draw. Yeah. So Martin, obviously England took the knee again, and your man that you pointed out last week pointed on his arm that said respect, and the media, I think, tried to swing that round that he was saying back to the England players, but I don't think he was. I was just thinking, saying you don't need to do the knee, just point to your arm that says respect, Martin.
Yes.
Enough.
Yeah. Well, we've discussed this since it all started. All this, taking the knee rubbish. I mean, I'm with Wilfred Zaha at Palace. He never took the knee against Tottenham on Saturday, and he says he won't take the knee because it's a pointless exercise. And I totally agree with him. You know, I can't. I don't know. Dave would probably agree. He goes to Rangers, and you go and watch Weymouth and whoever you watch on the telly. But I haven't heard anything racial for 10 years. You know, you might get an odd comment in the crowd, but there ain't groups of people who are anti-black at football.
No.
Most teams in all divisions have got black. I mean, not just moving away from football a little bit. I watch Gogglebox because my Jan loves it, and they had a whole black program, all black people on it, meant to be celebrities. And I put on Twitter, where are these people, celebrities in Nigeria? Because I didn't know half of them. You know, the couple of boys got the diversity. But imagine having a whole white program just for whites. It wouldn't happen. Happen.
I mean,
the same as the football. That's all I want to say. But the thing with the football, I think it's boring. It's stale. Most players have got nearly half black, half white. It don't matter what colour people are in football.
No.
One of these people, you know, black people are now not downtrodden in this country. They've got every opportunity on the sport. In athletics, most of the GB team are black.
And celebrated for it. Yeah.
And celebrated for it. Most boxers in this country, top line boxers, besides Tyson Fury, are black. So what the fuck have we got to take a knee for someone?
I don't
because they're black.
Why they're pushed. You know, I don't understand why they keep...
The whole thing has been lost in wokeness, in left-wing agenda and bollocks. That's basically
and pushing the message.
What message is there? There's no fucking message.
There isn't. It's just for their own to feel good about themselves, I think, Martin, to be honest.
But I often wonder, Matt and Dave, I often wonder, are these people who are making these rules up, have they ever lived next door to a black person? Have they ever gone to school with a black person? Because
You'll never know.
Fucking trend. Well, they'll never know because they don't know. But normal people like us three don't look at someone's colour of their skin. You know, I've got black mates, I've got mixed race mates, I've got Chinese, Indian mates. You know what I mean? So, but I don't look at what they are. They're just my mate. And I think most working class, normal people like us would think the same. So taking this knee bollocks has got to stop. You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it has.
I think so anyway.
So going back, sorry, I dropped my pen. So going back to the football, Martin, Harry Kane's goal was fantastic.
What a goal. What a goal.
Not normally his sort of goal.
I have seen him bang him. He scored one against Chelsea 5 or 6 years ago, like that, at the old White Hart Lane. He picked the ball up, stepped inside John Terry, and fucking nearly broke the net. You know, that's the sort of thing he can do. If he gets a service, he's probably one of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah.
But what did I say the other day?
Yeah.
What did I say the other day about the best forward in the world, Lewandowski for Poland the other day?
Played
he was
well.
dangerous.
Yeah.
33 years of age. He's still got it, hasn't he?
Yeah, of course he has it all day long.
We said that last week. Yeah, great player.
So, Dave, what was your opinion of England's performance?
I don't know. Actually, that Kane goal, going back to that, was sort of out of the blue a little bit, wasn't it?
I felt like that. Yeah.
Took my eye off the screen for a minute, and next thing I've heard what a goal, and then you see the way he took it. well struck goal, wasn't it, Martin? It's superb.
Oh, brilliant!
The game itself, I think we should have finished like in the Euro finals. We should have finished it off.
Yeah.
We should have finished that game off, and we sort of slacked off towards the end. There's still more fucking sideways and back passing going on. And to let them get that equaliser was a bit of a letdown. I mean, I did say I thought it'd be a draw because I know they're a different side and it's in their own backyard, so it's always going to be a tough game, isn't it, really? But I think we could have done a lot better, personally. And Grealish started.
Yeah.
Like we keep saying, when's Grealish going to start? And finally, he starts.
He did.
Okay.
So, Martin, you've not been a fan of this sideways, backward passing. Where's this tactic come from?
Well, I first saw it when Sarri come from Italy, from Napoli, to become Chelsea manager. And the press dubbed it Sarri ball, which I don't know why. It was fucking boring. Sideways, backwards, sideways, back. And Frank Lampard then took it on. And I just think, you need, like Dave's team, QPR. I've got to admire them. Same as West Ham, they get the ball forward. No fucking about, forward. That's
play
why
the
they're
way
the top
you're
scorers
facing.
in their division.
Yeah.
Huh?
You have to play the way you're facing. Yeah.
Look at David Moyes at West Ham. He ain't got a lot of money to spend. And yet, what does he generate? Team spirit. Get the ball forward, all go forward. All defend, all move forward. The same at QPR, the same as a few other teams. Same as Man United. Now they got, you know what I mean?
To be honest, we are playing a bit of that horrible football every now and then. We have spells of playing that shit, and it does prove quite costly because that's when you give the ball away and you end up fucking getting done on the counter. But it would be nice for teams and the managers to just say, look, just go all out for it because you're capable of doing it. We've got the players to do it. Just go for it. That's what football is all about. Scoring goals. Go for it, you know?
Yeah.
So, do you remember back in the 1980s when they started putting Italian football on a Sunday afternoon live?
Channel 4.
I couldn't watch it. It was so fucking boring. It bored the pants off me. Italian football was the most boring, droll game you could. And I think it did. You're right. It started off in Italy, all that keep possession shit and giving people 50 yards of room. Horrible game. Yeah. Nasty. Yeah.
I couldn't stand it, and I think that's why Frank Lampard, in the end, the hierarchy at Chelsea got fed up with him because that's what it all was, sideways, backwards. And I used to shout and scream at the telly, or if I was there, stand up and say, kick the fucking ball forward. But no, I find it boring, that football. But there are a few teams who do play adventurous attacking football. And I enjoy it. That's football. That's what it's all about. None of this boring
No,
stuff.
you're right, Martin.
We should have closed. I could see Poland scoring the other night because they had a few attacks and nearly scored, and the crowd started getting behind them, and you just knew it was going to happen. And when they equalised, the fucking whole place erupted, didn't it? Yeah. So, you could see it happening. As Dave said, they should have closed the game off. Yeah. Kept possession of the ball, but we didn't. We're fucking about at the back with the ball and come unstuck and they get an equaliser. But then again, that's the...
You said last week, Martin, that the atmosphere was going to be harsh. You called that straight away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was.
It's Poland, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
I didn't see many England supporters out there. Was we banned or... I see two girls.
No, I don't think so. I don't know if we had a limited number of tickets, but I certainly, it was mostly a home game, wasn't it? That's plain to see.
A COVID situation, that maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it might be.
Usually we take thousands to Poland, won't we? Usually, right?
Well, yeah.
A good turnout usually out there.
Okay, so we'll move on to this weekend's results because this is a football show. Liverpool away to Leeds 3-0.
Yeah, I watched it. Played well.
That's a good result. I mean, a 3-0 is almost a hammering, isn't it? Really,
could have been more. Yeah. Played well. I mean, there was a red card towards the end. That Leeds player, I didn't think it was a red card. But no. I don't know how injured I don't think the geezer was that badly injured because he was waving at the crowd when they stretched him off. I thought, well, he ain't that fucking hurt, is he? He's waving at the boxing crowd.
Let's talk about that for a minute, Martin. I interviewed Eddie Crispin of Portsmouth. The interview's out now on the YouTube channel. And he said during that modern football is like when the players get tackled, they go down like they've been hit off a missile.
Yeah.
What's that all about? Is it just part of the game now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think as Dave was saying earlier, there's a lot of things come from abroad where they sort of play acting, and a lot of these Spanish and Italians and foreign players. It's part of their game, and they brought it over here. But that tackle,
because part of your team, Chelsea. I mean, you've had the most notorious defender, Ron Chopper Harris. I mean, he'd get a red card every game, wouldn't he?
I would have thought so.
I just can't. I just think it's ridiculous.
You go back to the 70s, like Norman Hunter and all them sort of players, and Tommy Smith at Liverpool and Ron Harris. And QPR's had their hard players as well. Most of them Leeds. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we've all had them, and that was then you could tackle, but nowadays it's like snidey tackles, isn't it? You know what I mean? They're trying to break people's legs, or they're pretending that I mean, this kid who got attacked, it was not a bad tackle, it was a hard tackle. And then Klopp's arguing with a geezer in the crowd, telling him the geezer in the crowd to fuck off. And the kid's got off on a stretcher. Even the Leeds fans are clapping him, and he's sitting up like the Queen, waving like that as he's gone off on the fucking stretcher.
If he needs to be stretchered off, he needs to be stretchered off. You know, someone doesn't wave as they're getting stretchered off.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? Football's becoming like a pantomime, ain't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
He's behind you, or fucking when they go down, it's like a big, like you say, it's like the fairy godmother or whatever, or being carried off and that. Well, what you say? Is it because they're playing for people to get sent off? They're screaming for people to be sent off. They're screaming because
I think so, Dave. I mean, it's attack. Yeah, I think it was within the World Cup. I can't remember which team it was, but this geezer went down like he'd been shot, and as soon as they got the penalty, he sprung back up.
That's Italian. Italy. Italy.
Change the subject a little bit. Talk about players being shot. Do you remember I can't remember what World Cup it was. It was Colombia played, Escobar and all that lot. The drug cartel must have had a fucking lot of money on Columbus.
That's right, I know, yeah.
One of their players scored an own goal and they shot the bastard.
He got assassinated.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
He got assassinated. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. He did, yeah.
I mean, that's pressure, isn't it?
To a lot of players these days, shoot the fuckers, put them out of their misery. Get out on the pitch. So you're like a horse to the Grand National's gone down and broke his leg. You need to be shot.
It's gone. So we'll go to another result, which was Man United against Newcastle 4-1. Again, within the Premiership, these sort of scorelines, 4-1 is a big win, isn't it, for Man United?
Yeah, but look who started it, though, Matt. What did we say last week? He's the man at the moment, Ronaldo.
He's back.
He's still got it.
Yeah.
He's back. He's still got it. Still got it. You know,
everyone said
I was
Martin?
36. 36.
Oh, I'm 4 years out. Christ.
Well, he's 36. Everyone said he's only gone there for the money. And I watched the match of the day last night and again this morning, and he was fucking brilliant. As we said, all of us said last week, he walks in that dressing room. What's the young players all going to think? Fuck me, there's Ronaldo. We better lift our game. And that's what he done. He was brilliant. I'll give him 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I thought he was fantastic, and I would have loved him at Chelsea because I think wherever he went, he would have lifted the crowd. Except QPR, so fucking quiet there, but he would have lifted the crowd. He would have lifted the crowd wherever he went. But no, he was brilliant.
Even Weymouth.
Yeah, no, brilliant. No, he was brilliant, and he's so modest. And so I listened to his interview afterwards, and he's just so modest and. He don't smoke and drink. I know he loves a bird and all that, but fuck me, he is some player. For 36, he's still quick, still got it. Hats off to him. That's how you play football.
He keeps himself in great shape, doesn't he?
Yeah.
For that age, for his age, 36, a lot of people will be right at the end now on their life.
They would be. But I think, Dave, what you've just said there about keeping in shape and eating the right foods and not having a drink and stuff, that's all part of the modern game now, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, they've got nutritionists now and all that sort of thing.
All that sort of stuff, what I just don't even begin to understand, you know?
Yeah, so Ronaldo was an ambassador for that thing called Herbal Life, which is like nutrition products. Which they like, all that pyramid selling and all that stuff. They get people to sell it. Which I don't really agree with all that, but he's banging to his healthy stuff, isn't he, Ronaldo?
Yeah. Do you remember in the last World Cup, I can't remember, he took the Coke off the table, something, and they said it cost millions of pounds during the interview.
Yeah.
I just thought that was fantastic, really. I mean, just a little action to interrupt and cost so much money, I just thought good on him, really, to be fair. Yeah. You know. But we did call it. He's back in the Premiership. I think the Premiership are all the better for having Ronaldo back in it. Right, over to you, Martin. Chelsea, again, a big win, 3-0 against Villa.
Yeah, as I said earlier, it was a good result. The first half, we were atrocious. Besides Lukaku's goal, which was well taken, good through ball from Kovacic. But it's what we cried out for since we lost Diego Costa and went back to Spain. We cried out for an out-and-out striker, a big, bullying, strong geezer. And Lukaku's that. He's like a new Didier Drogba. And he was at Chelsea as a kid, as a 19-year-old. He never made it. Mourinho sold him for 25 million, I think it was, to Everton. Then Everton sold him to United. Then he went to Milan, and we bought him back for 100 million. 100 million well spent. I think he's got it. He scored goals all season.
He really came on at Milan, didn't he, Martin?
Oh, I think he learnt a lot under Conte out in Milan. So
really found his
come
feet.
back a better player. He's an older man now. He was a boy at Chelsea. Now he's come back as a man, and he loves the club. He said from the age of 11, it was his dream to score at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea, and he did. And fair play to him. The fans love him.
Brilliant,
But it was a little bit lackadaisical in defence. Yes, it's only our goalkeeper saved us yesterday. So 3-0. I'll take that.
That's great. I mean, right. I'm gonna put Dave on the spot because I've done my who I'd say would win the Premiership and everything else, and you've done yours, Martin. So, Dave, you've probably not thought about it, but who's going to win the Premiership, mate? Any thoughts?
Ooh, tough one, that. I mean, up till yesterday, I thought Tottenham might be up for it, but they got spanked yesterday at Palace, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I was actually, that's a result to remind him of that I've got written down here. Again, 3-0 against Palace.
Do you know what? I think it's going to be between, you're going to love me for this, Martin, and all my fellow Rangers fans would have absolutely hate me for saying this, Chelsea or Man United, and I don't think I can call it.
I've called Man City, Dave.
Did you? Oh, I'm going for Man United. Sorry, Martin.
All right, mate. Yeah.
No, that's fine. We'll go back to the Crystal Palace beating Spurs 3-0. I mean, Spurs are this so-called top 6 team. That's a bad result for Spurs, isn't it? I mean,
I watched the game. That player Palace bought from Eduardo from Celtic, 14 million. He scored 2 goals yesterday against Tottenham. He banged them in Scotland. He was scoring like 25 goals a season for 14 million. Big, strong fella. Looks an handful. Come on, scored 2 goals.
Isn't it crazy? Martin, isn't it crazy to say 14 million sounds like a bargain?
Yeah, I know, but...
Yeah, I was just about to say 14 million. 14 million, but in today's game, yeah, Dave, it's crazy to sound that is a bargain.
That is nuts, man. But hey, yeah.
But he's probably paid that back in them 2 goals against... I mean, I'll tell you, he's come in, Vieira's come in. I mean, they had the old fella, didn't they, Roy Hodgson there for a few years. I think he had Alzheimer's. He didn't even know where he was. But they brought Vieira in, and he's sort of changed the whole attitude. And he's got rid of who was that geezer was at Rangers? A bit of a showboat. Esri, was it Esri?
Yeah,
Rangers had a midfield.
Oh,
it was a midfield player. He was a midfield player with dreadlocks.
Oh,
bit of a showboat they had in there last season.
Not sure, no.
They got rid of Cahill. I think they got rid of him. They got rid of a few players. They bought in a guy who from Chelsea was out on loan at Swansea, 25 million. They bought this Eduardo, a couple of other players, and they look a different side. And he's got them playing some good football now, Vieira. Yeah. So I think they're going to be mid-table this year. I don't think Tottenham are going to sustain a title challenge.
No.
I think, they kept Harry Kane for the season, but I don't think they're going to be there at the end.
No.
But, it was a good result for Palace, and I think they're going to do well under Vieira. He looks a good manager.
Fantastic result.
Tell you what, Palace got the fella from QPR. It's hard to say this as well. Eberici Easy, and he's this fella who's got sort of locks as well, and he is.
That's the fella I'm on about. That's the geezer I'm on about. What's his name? Easy.
Yeah, Easy from QPR. Yeah.
I thought his name was Ezra.
No, EZE is his surname, so we called him Easy. But he is a skill. Apparently he's injured long term, but he is so
is
player,
he?
Man. Oh,
I thought, but he's a bit of a showboat, really.
He wasn't playing yesterday, was he? I don't think.
No, he wasn't.
No.
I thought that's how
he comes back. Oof.
Yeah.
If he manages to get back this season, then I'd say Palace would finish up in the top sort of 8.
Top 20. Like Top 20.
Yeah. They'll be in the top 20, all right?
You've always been a good tipster, though.
Yes, pop pickers. Here's this week's top 20.
There we go. Yeah, we'll go have a section of Dave's pop pickers. Yeah.
Top 20. Yeah.
So, Martin, put you on the spot, really. Any issues this week or any... I think we'll call this section Martin's Moaning.
About what? What do you want me to moan about?
Anything you want to talk about, mate, is up to you within the football.
I've been all right this week. We're moving up to Norfolk in Tuesday week. Hopefully it all goes through. We signed the contract. So I've just been really busy. And I just said the day before we come on, I said, I've been clearing the garage of things I've hoarded over the years. Fucking some stuff from my granddad's from 40, 50, 60 years ago I've kept, which I think is worth money. And my jam moans at me. So I've been in the garage. We've got an 8-yard skip out on the drive, and I've been loading that and clearing everything out the loft and everything I've collected over the years. and I couldn't never do a day's work again. I couldn't go to work. I don't know about Dave or you. I couldn't go to work no more. That's me finished. I'm fucked.
Martin, I've been working the last proxy 8 weekends painting, Saturday and Sunday. I even went in for 3 hours this morning. Oh, talk about work. Anyway, it's got to be done. Anyway, congratulations on your house purchase, mate. And
yeah, so it goes through. We're moving to a nice little village up on the coast. The dogs will love it. 8 mile long sandy beach.
Yeah, so you're going up with the old Norwich crew. Norwich.
Yeah, I would like to. Oh, funny enough, I used to know a fella, one of their boys years ago, Simon. He used to work for Martin Knight in his press cuttings agency. So I should imagine he still goes. He was one of their boys back in the day. So I'd like to catch up with him. But no, everyone I ask, I say, where does Norwich's firm drink? I don't know. So no one knows where they drink. So, but I'd love to track him down because me and him used to get on like a house on fire. And he was good friends with Vicky.
Martin, now you will be a Norwich member. You can be our resident. What's it called?
Prick.
You can be the. You can be the Anglian. What's the name?
Alan Partridge. That's what I was on about. You can be our Norfolk digital DJ from Norwich.
Thank you for our main sponsors for tonight's video, the Casual Thug Terrace brand. They have a new t-shirt coming out soon, the Mr. Magoo design. See you next week.